Hi, this is Stacia, and I wanted to share a game from the Parma Open that I played yesterday. This was a four round G45 with 5 second delay tournament in Parma. They have two of these per year, one in the fall and one in the spring. And I ended up with an even score, but I'm pretty happy with that. I had some pretty talented opponents. And this is a game that I played against Mitchell Ferris, a good friend of mine, actually. We studied chess together all the time. And he was rated 1275, and I was rated 1515. And I have to hand it to Mitchell. He played this game really well. Even after computer analysis, it looked like he only had maybe one or two bad moves the entire game. And they were not catastrophic moves. So I had a tough time, and this is, I think, a fun game to share because we get a G takes F6 Scandinavian where black needs to attack. And so, yeah, you're going to see me attack. It's not pretty. Or maybe, yeah, I don't know. So, or maybe it is if you like to watch bad attacks. Okay, so let's start. I'm also going to try and keep this video shorter, so I'm going to run through the opening fairly quickly here. This is all theory. D4. I taught Mitchell how to play against the Scandinavian, so now I have to suffer a bit when I play my lines against him. He had an interesting choice here. Oh yeah, I develop my knight. Then he plays the move bishop d2. This is a little early to play this move. Usually white will develop their kingside knight. But this does put black in a predicament, I think, because there's really no way to not get my pawns doubled, I don't think. I played c6. This is all still theory. And then he played knight e4. So white's going to spend some time to double my pawns. And, all right, I played queen c7. And he took. I do want to show an interesting line here that the computer showed me. And that's instead of queen c7, queen d5 is possible. I don't know if I'd actually play this way, but you can actually win the d pawn in this line. Because notice right now I'm threatening the knight and I'm threatening the pawn. Well, he can take with check, take, develop, pin the knight, unpin, and then here we have takes, takes, queen takes d5. And you can win the d pawn that way. But the analysis is that white is still slightly better because white is ahead in development, and we've moved our queen a million times. Our pawn structure isn't ideal, and probably it's going to be hard to hang on to the pawn if I had to guess, so not sure I would play that way. But back to the game, I played queen c7. He played knight takes f6 check, and now I played the move g takes f6. And this is a way you can play the Scandinavian, I've discovered, where you get a very different type of game where you're going to play bishop f5, knight bd7, castle queenside, rook g8, and you're going to attack white on the king side. If white should castle on the queen side, it's a more difficult game. It's positional, and you just have this weird pawn structure. So with that in mind, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep playing this line, but it is interesting. And we do get a nice attacking game out of this today, or yesterday. Knight f3, bishop f5. So I want to get the bishop outside of the pawn chain because e6, knight d7, and castle queenside is my plan. Bishop c4 was played, e6. He castled. This is all good. Knight d7, just moving forward. Rook e1, putting his rook on the semi-open file. And now I played the move. Nope, I did not move the queen. Knight b6. Throw in this tempo move on the bishop. I knew I was going to castle queenside, and I was kind of scared Mitchell might play like a4, b4, and b5. I was a little nervous about that, so I thought getting him to play this would block the b pawn. Might be useful. I don't know if that's good, but that's what I did. Castle queenside, c3. c3 is good, I think, because the d4 pawn needs to be supported, and maybe this will support b4 later. All right, rook g8. This is just a common move for this structure, so I knew to play it. Pins the pawn to the king. So now this knight is only defended by the queen. And, you know, just obviously this is uncomfortable, right? I don't know. I'm not an attacker. I think it's uncomfortable. He played king h1. That's a good move. And now it's time for me to execute a plan. So if you were black, what would you play here? If you want to pause the video, go ahead, and I'll share the computer moves as well as what I played. Okay, computer says your development's not done. Play king b8. You can also play c5, breaking immediately because our rook's lined up with this queen. Or you could play knight d5, improving the knight, I guess. Although it's not clear to me what happens after that. All right, so in the game, I chose a plan not as good as those, but still good, I think. Bishop g4. And my idea was to pin the knight, making the square weaker, and I'm going to play bishop d6, force him to play h3, weakening his king side. Again, I don't know if that's a good plan or what, but that's what I did. Bishop c2. All right, so this is probably not the best move. In hindsight, his idea was bishop c2, bishop d3, bishop e2, and he wants to break this pin. This is a very uncomfortable pin, I think, and he wants to get out of it. Fair enough. This also attacks the pawn, so how bad could that move be? Well, the only reason I think it's not that good is because now I can play f5. This is a desirable move for me. Supports the bishop, defends the pawn. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's good. He played h3, and I want to maintain this uncomfortable pin with bishop h5, so that's what I did. And he played bishop d3, so he's looking to break this pin. Here, I don't know if this is good either. I played bishop d6. It doesn't do much on this diagonal, even though it does look kind of scary. I don't know. But what I really want to do is double on the g file, so I was getting him out of my way so I could connect my rooks. Okay, and he played bishop e2. And here, here the pin's broken, and I was kind of nervous my bishop might end up on this square where, well, I guess I could play f4 at some point to make my bishop good. I don't know, but I didn't see a better way to go other than take, take, and then rook g6. So this is what I did. If we go back though, computer actually likes king b8 here, so it still wants king b8, it still wants knight d5, and it still wants c5. All the same moves I mentioned earlier. So that goes to show you I have a lot to learn about how to play this. Probably those are all good moves. All right, so I took rook g6. So I think my plan's clear, right? I want to double on the g file. That just looks really uncomfortable for white. It would actually kind of pin the bishop to this pawn. And okay, he played queen e2. Seems fine. Knight d5. Bringing my knight in. I want him to be part of the fun. And now he played queen f1. Nope, he did not move the bishop. Queen f1. Interesting move. I didn't expect him to do this. This is kind of a funny game because Mitchell always attacks me and I defend and then counterattack or something. In this game, he's defending. I've never seen him do this. I was kind of baffled during the game because I'm like, What is happening? I'm attacking, he's defending. I'm so confused. All right, here I play the move bishop f4. So this is a good move, confirmed by the computer. I thought it was good. I'm just kidding. I had no idea. But my idea was that I pretty much own this square, so I can put a piece here. And I also wanted him to trade off his bishop pair because I thought it was uncomfortable. If I try to double, I just saw some lines where maybe his bishop comes here, I bring my rook back, his other bishop comes in, and my rook's trapped. Although I don't think this bishop can move from the g-pawn. But okay. He played rook a d1. I like that move. So instead of trading and getting my knight even more in the action, he defended, bringing his last piece into the game. So I thought that was good. And now I double. He plays queen g1. Weird looking move. And this is a mistake. So this brings us to a critical point of the game where I could have played an attacking move and probably won, but definitely would have an advantage in a strong attack. So if you want to pause your video and find that move, please do so now. And then I will show you the move as well as what I did, which probably you don't want to do. Okay. Thank you. So the best move here is actually bishop takes d2. And the idea is bishop takes d2, rook takes d2, knight f4. And the knight on f4 hits the g2 pawn and hits the h3 pawn. And it's just a very strong attacking move. So the reason we're taking here is to clear the square for the knight. And this is like, I'm bringing this up because this is something I'm learning more and more, is that sometimes you want to make moves just to clear square for another piece, especially pawns. So I feel like this game shows that with the move knight f4. So these are moves I need to find moving forward. I don't think I do well with that right now. Well, obviously I don't, right? Missed this. So this would have been the right way to go ahead. And yeah, I think it's interesting to kind of look at what would happen here. So if we just follow this line, like queen d8, wow, like coming into h4. Computer wants rook e to d1. Don't know what that is. And now we have this. So this leads to an endgame, actually. Yeah, and after queen d5 check, computer says black has a good advantage here. We're up a pawn, and we have a queen versus two rooks, which, okay, that's kind of equal, but in this case, the position's closed enough that the rooks are not going to be as effective as the queen. So this would be a good endgame for me. I think that's what the computer's saying. Although I would have never saw that continuation. That's way too many moves deep for me. Okay, let's see what I did. What strong attacking move did I make? King b8. So I think this highlights, how I need to learn to attack. Because I actually think king b8 is a bit of a mistake, even though the computer doesn't say that. I think so, because you'll see what happens. All right, now c4, tempo move. And now I still have the chance to play bishop takes b2, or d2. But I don't do that. I play knight f6. A bit passive. My knight's not coming here. It's not coming here. I don't know. This isn't well placed, I don't think. So Mitchell finds a nice way to continue here. Trades off the bishop, queen takes, and then queen h2. And this fizzles out all my hopes of an attack because king b8 caused this to be a pin. And so I can't even rescue my queen, really. This is almost forced. Yeah, and now I'm in an endgame, and I'm not happy about it, right? Because, well, I have this nice G file, but it's not going to help me that much. Well, it will help a little in the endgame, but my pawns are fractured. All right, so I played here. Idea being, if I can trade off this bishop, I can take on G2 a check. I think that'd be bad for him. He actually does take, but then he plays G3, the best move. F5, and I'll just try to fly through this endgame, but even though it is pretty interesting. Rook G1. I thought this was passive. I thought maybe I'd be winning after this move. Computer says black's better. Not winning, though. King C7 is necessary. Yeah, this D5 break. Yeah, it's a good move, and Mitchell finds it. So I play H5. And then he plays D5. Yeah, this is good. I'm sorry, I took the other way. C takes. And now my idea was E5. This does give him a pass pawn. I realize that, but I did not want his rook here, just munching away. So I played this way. I thought I could round up this pawn, but I kind of underestimated how difficult that would be. He plays D6. I play rook D8. D7. I play king C7. Not the best move. And now there's a good move for white, rook D5. Now I'm in a bad scenario. I thought maybe I might be losing here. Computer says it's equal. To defend or not defend, right? I don't know. I decided to defend because I thought if I lose this pawn, these other two are going, and then he's gonna have this great majority, or maybe just 3 connected pass pawns. I don't think I can allow that, so I brought the rook over to defend, and I totally missed this move. Rook C1 check. Ouch. Yeah, I only have 3 moves, I think. King B6 would be a huge mistake because rook C8 wins my rook. I can't take or he queens. I think my only move is this. So that would lose. So I can't go there. Here looks scary, but computer says you can hold it. I did find a decent move, rook C8, but now my nightmare will come true and his rook's going to be eating all my pawns, right? So takes. This guy may fall too, in which case I'll be very unhappy. Rook D2. At least I could take here with check. And at least I'll probably get a pass pawn on the queen side. He played check. I moved up. And now he played here. King G2. So one last question for you, and that'll be all. Who do you think is winning this endgame, if anyone? What's your evaluation of this endgame? And why? Okay. And yeah, at the time, I thought I was absolutely losing. I thought even if I could win these pawns over here, I'm going to be too slow. And I didn't know how I was going to defend these guys. Turns out the position's actually equal. The reason is this pawn's actually menacing. Since his f-pawn is pinned, I can actually push this and create some counterplay. So I underestimated that in the game, and I offered him a draw. I was also down on the clock 3 minutes to 5 minutes, and he accepted right away, which I don't think he should have. I think he should have played on with the time advantage, and this looks difficult. But maybe that was, the computer says it is a draw, so there you go. My fun attacking game turned into a draw, but I had to be happy with this result. Even though I typically score really well against Mitchell, but I have to hand it to him. I thought he played a good game. What do you think? So thank you for watching. And yeah, that'll be all. Have a good day. Bye.